Hi everyone, I wanted to finish up the notes that we started yesterday and go over those with you. I apologize if you hear my kids running around in the background, but we did go over this yesterday in class. So the second one you guys were working on your own, 180 degrees counterclockwise. So this one is around the origin, so I filled in the chart for you. The center was the origin. They told us to go counterclockwise and we're going 180 degrees. So like I told you yesterday with your tracing paper, you're going to put your tracing paper over the graph, trace the y-axis, the x-axis, and line segment FG. Make sure you're labeling F and G, and then you are going to rotate it. So think about like this is the x-axis in the positive. So if I were to go 90 degrees counterclockwise, it would end up here in the positive y-axis. But if I go an additional 90, that would be 180. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go 90 degrees and then 180. Mine's off a little bit, so I will fix it. So you want to make sure that everything is still lined up. So this would be my new line segment. So here is F prime at -3, -2, and then G prime is here at -8, +5. So you would put those in. So for example, F prime we said was at -3, -2. So I would go through and I would write -3, comma -2. And then also G was at -8, +5. So I would go through and I would write -8, +5. So that would be your answer for that particular problem. So then the next one, we are now going 270 degrees counterclockwise around the origin. So same idea here. We are taking this and we are rotating it 270 degrees. So counterclockwise. So I'm going this direction. This would be 90. This would be 180. This would be 270. So mine's a little bit off again. So I just gotta line it up. So here are my new points. F is at 2, -3, so I'll write that in. So 2, -3. And then G looks like it is at -5, -8. And that is it. So that is how we rotate around the origin. Today we're going to talk about how to rotate around other points, not just the origin. So that's what we're going to get into in just a second as well. But it's the same process, tracing everything with your tracing paper. So the y-axis, the x-axis, and your line segment or shape, whatever it may be. And then just moving it the appropriate amount of degrees. So the other thing we have to talk about is we have clockwise and counterclockwise, but it's the same in some aspects. So like for example, 90 degrees counterclockwise, the shape would end up over here. But if we went in the clockwise direction, this would be 90, this would be 180, and then one more turn would be 270. So 90 degrees counterclockwise is the same as 270 degrees clockwise. The shape will end up in the exact same spot. 180, well, if I go 180 in this direction, 90, 180, it's the same as if I went 180 and clockwise. So 180 doesn't change. It's either direction, so you don't always even need to know what direction you're going in if it's a 180 degree rotation. 270, so if I'm going clock or counterclockwise, it would be here, 180, 270. But then if I were going clockwise, it would just be a 90 degree turn. So this would be 90 degrees. And so this just shows you what is the same, whether it's counterclockwise or clockwise. So the next page, we are talking about rotating around another point besides the origin. So this one, we have the same line segment, FG, but this time we're going 90 degrees clockwise around the point 3, 1. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our own axis through the point 3-1. So as you guys can see here, what I have highlighted in orange, this is the point 3-1 right here. So what I did is I drew a vertical line through 3-1 and a horizontal line through the point 3-1. I highlighted so you guys would trace your line segment FG, and this is exactly what you would trace on your paper. And we're going to do this exactly the same as we've been doing. So this time they want us to go clockwise 90 degrees. So what we're going to do is this positive x-axis, if we're going clockwise 90 degrees, it's going to bring me down here. So I'm going to rotate this axis to this axis. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me start rotating that. So again, you would put your pencil points right at 3-1, and then we are going to rotate until it hits this. So mine moved a little bit, so you guys want to make sure that it's still at 3-1 when you do that. Okay, so we went 90 degrees clockwise, and then you're still going to be at 3-1, so your center point is still going to be at the point 3-1, and then this is my new shape, and that's all you have to do. So my points here, if we look, F prime is going to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then G prime, if we look at G prime, here's our origin. We went 1, 2, -3, and then down 1, 2, 3, 4. So -3, -4. And that's it. So it's done exactly the same as what we did before. Okay, so done exactly the same as what we've done before. But now, instead of just drawing the X and Y axis, we're drawing a horizontal and vertical line through the point that they want us to rotate. All right. So one more, and then you guys are going to try some on your own. So this is 180 degrees. So they want us to go through the point 2, -1. So I already have that highlighted, 2, -1, that's this point. So I drew a vertical line and a horizontal line through that point. I highlighted and did F and G there. So you're going to do the same thing with your tracing paper. Trace the vertical and horizontal line, and then FG, and then that line segment. And we're going to rotate 180 degrees counterclockwise. So we are going to take and rotate this 2 times. So this is going to come down here, and then it's going to end up over here. That would be a 180 degree rotation. So you guys would put your pencil point right at 2, -1, so that way it doesn't move. Mine's going to move a little bit just because it's digital, but basically we would go 90 and then 180. Oops. Sorry guys. And then 180. And remember, your point still needs to be at 2, -1. So your guys, it should have not moved. Because mine's digital, I've made it a little wonky, but this is where it would end up. So same thing here. We are going to write our new points. So if we look at the original origin, F is at 1 and then -1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, -4. And then G is going to be at 1, 2, 3, 4. So -4, +3. And then that is my answer. So again, it's done exactly the same as the ones we've done before, but this time, instead of drawing the X and Y axis, we are drawing a horizontal and vertical line through the points that they want us to rotate around. But tracing it, everything else is exactly the same. Just be careful whether they are telling you to go clockwise or counterclockwise. And that is Theo saying hello to you all. So you guys have 2 that I want you to try on your own. So this is now not just a line segment, it is 3 different points. So go ahead, try these 2 on your own, and that's what we will go over on Monday.